Hi, everyone. I'm Lisa Pullman. I'm the Executive Director at the Natural Resources Council of Maine, and I'd like to welcome you to our 2012 annual meeting of the membership. It is so great to see you all. It's so great to be in the company of people who feel as passionately about Maine's environment as I do, and all of the board and staff who work tirelessly for NRCM. I hope you've shaken hands with your neighbors tonight, maybe met somebody new in the NRCM family, and learned something from that usual barrage of information we have at our table. We have a lot going on. We've got postcards to sign, so if you didn't have time before, please stop there before you head home, because we could use your help on a number of items. And you know, when we're all in a room together, I'm just reminded that we are a force, and we are a force to be reckoned with. And don't ever let anybody make you think that we are not making a difference or that we can't make a difference, because we have been making a difference for 53 years in the state of Maine. So thank you for that. Tonight we'll be presenting our 2012 Environmental Awards to 4 individuals who've been doing outstanding work. We also will be conducting a few items of business, and then we are going to hear from our keynote speaker, Ramsey Hart of Mining Watch Canada. So before we begin, I thought I'd just warm us up with a little personal story of why I think we need a guardian like NRCM, for Maine. So I have a 6-year-old grandson, and he grew up outside of New York City, but for the last year, he lived in Maine. And it was really wonderful. We had many, many adventures on Saturdays and Sundays, into the woods in the snow, to the shoreline, along stream beds, and up his very first mountain. And he was so excited to discover deer tracks in the snow going down to the marsh, a long slimy worm in the coast right along the shoreline, a catbird eating a bug in a tree, and the view of those little towns and distant islands from 1,200 feet up. I can still hear his voice when I close my eyes. "Nana, Nana, come look!" And I just think, you know, he was at the perfect age to develop that sense of wonder that Rachel Carson wrote about so many years ago. I imagine and I hope that he and I will be having Maine nature adventures for many, many years to come. So I know that my job is to make sure Maine continues to offer these deep pleasures and discoveries to my grandchildren, your children and grandchildren, and all of the other children who are yet to come. Places like Maine are just becoming all too rare. So that's why it's so great to see all of you here. Your gifts, your time, and your commitment make it possible for NRCM to protect the Maine that we all love. As most of you know, the Natural Resources Council of Maine is homegrown, started in 1959 by a small group of Maine people like yourselves. As a matter of fact, some may be in the audience, who were bounded together by their love for this state and their concern for its future. And now we all work hard on behalf of 12,000 members and supporters from across the state and across the nation. And together we have stood up to polluters, we have faced down out-of-state corporations, we have made steady progress towards restoring woodlands and waterways that have been damaged, and prevented proposals that would harm the nature of Maine that we love. And I just have to share that one of the most exciting days of this last year was in June, when we breached the Great Works Dam on the Penobscot River. This dam, along with others, had made it nearly impossible for fish to reach critical habitat for years, so fish population had dropped to dangerously low levels. Now, NRCM has been a proud partner of the Penobscot project ever since it got going. And we were thrilled to be standing on the banks of the Penobscot River with the Penobscot Nation and all of our conservation partners for this very auspicious occasion. It's the beginning of a new era that is going to revitalize Maine's largest river and the Atlantic salmon and many other species that rely upon it. and there will be no net loss of renewable energy because other dams are going to be upgraded as part of the whole picture. We have been proud to help Maine lead the nation on many environmental fronts. We don't have anything to be sorry about there. We have continually brought the power of science and the power of your citizen voices to the policymaking process. We listen, we research, we bring people together, we negotiate when we can, and we stand firm when we need to. And I have to say, in the last couple of years, we've had to stand pretty darn firm because there has been an unprecedented onslaught of destructive proposals that has compelled us to rise up like never before to guard the state that we all cherish. We have worked to defeat dozens of bills that would have threatened our waters, our forests, our people, and our wildlife. And even now, we are facing what we call a triple threat: a proposed east-west highway that could cut right through the middle of the North Woods, which, as you know, is the largest undeveloped tract of forest east of the Mississippi River. Tar sands oil from Alberta, Canada, possibly being pumped through an existing pipeline that traverses western Maine down to Portland Harbor, putting all kinds of habitat at risk from an oil spill, and threatening Sebago Lake, the drinking water supply for 1 in 7 Maine people. And thirdly, open pit mineral mining, which we're going to hear about soon. Maine does not need to be open for anything goes development. Our environment and our economy have always and must always go hand in hand. We need clean air and clean water to be healthy. We need our natural places so we can retain our sense of wonder and teach it to our children. So thank you for standing with us. Thank you for offering your financial support. Thank you for the countless letters and phone calls and emails that you have done to contact your legislators. We do this work together as guardians of what we hold dear. Thank you.